Hey, deedavinci the poet here. Today's scent of the day is from the House of Milestone. I just got this one in. This is a clone of Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait de Parfum. This is Bogart Rouge 540. To me, it's a sweeter version of the original. Heavy on the jasmine, but at the same time, still smells like Baccarat Rouge 540. So, hey, look at it at your local rack stores, preferably your TJ Maxx and your Marshalls. Maybe now Burlington, because Burlington is starting to get some Camaras and some milestone fragrances. So check it out. But this is the video that I was going to do a few days ago that I had mentioned on my community tab. I was going to do my top Zara fragrances because I have a bunch of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 Zara fragrances now. So I think that's about enough to let you know which Zara fragrances are my favorite. The reason I say these are my favorite is because as you know, Zara has testers of every fragrance. So I was able to sniff, and the ones I bought are obviously my favorite. So without further ado, like I always say, roll that beautiful beam footage. Okay, so these are going to be in no particular order. I'm not going to really go in detail with the notes or anything. I'm just going to say how I feel about them because I do have 8 fragrances. So I was just tell you the gist of what I get from them, and then what I feel about it, longevity, projection, things like that. So the first one is this one is a clone of Y by YSL EDP, and this one is a London. Now, should I say any more? I mean, it's Y by YSL EDP. If you don't know what that smells like, then you've been living under a rock. This one has some pretty good longevity and projection. I say the projection is probably going to be about an arm's length, and then the longevity is going to be probably, I'd say, 7 to 8 hours. It is a compliment puller because it smells like Y by YSL. Okay, this is getting on my nerves. Let's turn this off. So anyway, it does smell like Y by YSL. So it does have you can, in the opening, you do get that those fresh notes, kind of like the citrusy notes, but at the same time, it does dry down to that Y by YSL EDP feel that you can wear all year round. So this one is from the House of Zara. It is London. Next one is a fragrance that I definitely know is a compliment puller. When I do wear it, people say it's a really sexy scent. I have gotten people that actually subscribe to my YouTube page because of this scent. And this one is a good winter fragrance. It has some coffee notes in there. I think it has some iris. And this one is Cafe et Cedre. I'm not sure if this is a clone of anything, but it is a very good fragrance. I wish that it can be beast mode in performance. I mean, the performance and the longevity is okay. Reason why I get compliments is because sometimes I do spray it right before I go inside of a place. So then it's fresh on me. But this one right here, when I tell you, it is a beautiful coffee and iris fragrance. I would definitely say get this one. When I'm in Zara, I definitely recommend this to people when they ask, oh, I see you looking at fragrances. Do you recommend any of them? This is one of them I definitely recommend. And it is Cafe et Cedre. Okay, the next one is my newest fragrance from Zara to my collection. This one here is, they say on Fragrantica, this is a clone of Memoir Man from the House of Homage. I've never smelled Memoir Man, nor did I know it existed. I just didn't know, but it's a leather-based fragrance. This one is called Leather Freestyle. It is a beautiful fragrance. It is a new fragrance that was released last year in their leather collection. I have talked about this on my page. There's 3 leather fragrances that they released late last year: Leather Freestyle, No to Leather, and I'm not even going to try to remember the last one. But this one is my favorite because the other 2 were clones of, obviously, Tom Ford's Ombre Leather and Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather. And even though the one that is a clone, I think, of Tuscan Leather, it did have iris in it. It did have, of course, the raspberry, and it did have some notes that made it unique. But at the same time, it's still a clone of a fragrance that everybody makes clones of. And I didn't want to be redundant. So when I saw that this one may be a clone of Memoir Man, I said, nobody really talks about that in the game. So this one, of course, from the House of Zara, it is a Leather Freestyle. Okay, next one is a good tobacco-based scent. If I'm not mistaken, this does have tobacco in it. It kind of a little bit, kind of reminds you along the lines of maybe a Tobacco Vanille, a little bit by Tom Ford, but this one is Unexplored Noir. I know it does have some sweet notes in it. I know it does have some tobacco in it. I think it might have some vanilla or maybe some tonka bean. So that's why I said it kind of gives you that tobacco vanilla feel. Definitely a compliment getter. With all these, I'm just going to say it, they all kind of last the same amount because they're all Eau de Parfum concentrations. So they all give you about that arm's length of performance. They give you that kind of longevity of about 7 to 8 hours. But this one is good if you kind of like that tobacco vanilla kind of scent profile without smelling directly like it. But this one is Unexplored Noir. Okay, next one. If you know, when I talk about clones, I have to talk about Creed Aventus. This is one of my first Zara fragrances that I bought along with London. This is one of my first ones I bought. This is a clone of the smoky batch of Creed Aventus. I bought this on my honeymoon after me and my wife got married. We went to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I bought this at the San Juan Mall because we didn't have a Zara at the time. So I said, ooh, people talk about Zara fragrances. Let me go put my nose on some. And I came across this one, and this one I fell in love with. This is Oud Vibrant Leather. You don't really get the oud in this because, like I said, it just smells like a smoky batch of Creed Aventus. So if you like that smoky batch of Creed Aventus, then you don't want to pay an arm and leg for it because you're probably going to spend probably $400-$500 because it's a older formulation and people are going to jack up the price. But you can definitely get Oud Vibrant Leather. This is an all-year scent. Smells amazing. Even when you think that you can't smell it anymore, when the wind blows, you will be able to smell it. I wore this in the summertime. I've wore this in pretty much every season, and you definitely can smell it. So from the House of Zara, it is Oud Vibrant Leather. Okay, next one is a tobacco scent that has some kind of citrusy notes. I think if I'm not mistaken, it might have some orange in there or some orange blossom, one of them, orange peel, something, and some tobacco and some other woody notes in there. And this one is Tabac Treasure from their tobacco collection. I already had told you about some in their leather collection that comes in those same bottles. And then even in the cafe collection, you have like Cafe et Cedre, but they do also have a tobacco collection. And then they also have another tobacco collection that comes in some different bottles too. I mean, just check it all out when you go to Zara. But this one right here, another really good scent. If you like that tobacco kind of mixed with a little citrusy, this is another one that you could wear all year round. And I would definitely recommend this to be kind of a casual. You can dress it up, but I wouldn't say dress it up too formal. So, but if you like that type of stuff, I would definitely say stick with this one as well. And this one is Tabac Treasure. Okay, next one. These next two kind of resemble each other a little bit, but they have some differences. this one right here is a scent that I would say is not as sweet as the other one, so I'll save for the sweeter one last. And this one is Antique Brown. This one is definitely a compliment getter. I wore this one on date night to Red Lobster with my wife, and the waitress just kept saying, man, somebody got that smell good on. Oh, it smells so good. And it was me because I had just put it on, things like that. And this one kind of reminds you of the Angel Cedre DNA, but it's not really as sweet. This one here, let me spray it in the air one more time. I mean, it's a beautiful scent. It kind of, to me, has a couple of little green and blue notes in there, but it does kind of remind you of that Angel Cedre DNA a little bit, but it's really not as sweet. More of kind of a blue fragrance, but I feel like you can get away with this one at night. You can get away with this one dressing it up a little bit, and you can get away with this on like a date night, because I did wear it on date night and it did get compliments and things like that. So this is, of course, from the house of Zara. It is Antique Brown. Okay, last but certainly not least is their clone of Angel Cedre, which that's another one that, if you talk about clones, there's really 3 clones that you're going to talk about right now that are really popular, and that's Angel Cedre, Creed Aventus, and Baccarat Rouge 540. Yeah, you have your Waba YSL clones, things like that, but it's so many clones of Angel Cedre right now, from Lattafa, Al Haramain, there's Fire Desire, there's Paris Corner, all these different brands, and Zara is no exception to the game. They have their version, and it's called Sand Desert at Sunset. Do I have to say no more? Because you definitely get the DNA from Angel Cedre. Angel Cedre is one of my favorite DNAs. Besides like the DNA from Armage's Jubilation 25, YSL Tuxedo, and scents like that. But I do love Angel Cedre. It's one of my favorite DNAs as well. And this one is really good. A lot of people say that Zara fragrances don't really last that long on their skin or don't project well. Well, I'm here to say, throw that in the trash can, because they do actually project and last a pretty decent amount of time. And for the price that you're gonna pay, anywhere from 20 to 40 bucks, you can always just spray more if it doesn't last or if it doesn't project like you want it to. You can always spray more. But this definitely does a good job of smelling like Angel Cedre on a budget. I may have paid like $30 for this. Most of these fragrances, the most expensive fragrance was $30, and many of them just cost about $20. So you're not going to break the bank with these fragrances. So even if they don't perform well, like I said, just spray more. So this one, like I said, I don't have to explain it in detail or anything like that, because you're getting that scent DNA from Angel Cedre. So this one is from the house of Zara. It is Sand Desert at Sunset. Okay, so that has been my 8 fragrances from the house of Zara. Those are my favorites. Like I said, I've smelled most of every fragrance that Zara makes right now, not the discontinued. I know there's a clone of Dior Homme, I think Intense, or one of the Dior Hommes, maybe Dior Homme Original. I know it has the iris in there, and they don't make that one anymore. So I know that there's some fragrances that I haven't smelled, like the discontinued, but for the most part, the ones that are in rotation at Zara right now, I have gotten my nose on it, and those are my favorites. I know they have a Sauvage clone. I have plenty of Sauvage clones, including Assad, which is a clone of Sauvage Elixir. I have Territoire Wild, which is a clone of the original Sauvage. I mean, that's another one that's highly cloned as well. So that's about it. So like I always say in each and every one of my videos, tell a friend to tell a friend's mother, father, sister, brother, cousin that Davinci the Poet does poetry and sim reviews. I'm out. Salute to each and every one of you guys. I love y'all, and peace, and God bless.